I fly a lot of SAS, so a couple of weeks ago I decided, why not try out Norwegian on a short Nordic route instead? It's been a couple of years since I flew them after all, and they were charging a lot less for the ticket from Copenhagen to Stockholm than the competition. Norwegian pretty much ceased to exist during much of the pandemic, and their long-haul operation completely ceased to exist. And nowadays they're back, slowly but surely, putting back European routes, flying a little bit domestically within the Nordic countries. And I was kind of curious to see, what is Norwegian like these days, having been so downsized and having been out of commission more or less for so many months during the pandemic, now making a kind of hesitant recovery, coming back as a European low-cost airline. Is it the same as it used to be, or is anything different? So we're going to try them out on this short leg, hour flight back up to Stockholm. It didn't start off too smoothly. At departure time, there was no aircraft. But hey, these things happen. The delay was minor in the end. And the cabin looked pretty nice. A bit of trash here and there, though.
Thank you.
And does anyone else find this character on the safety card kind of off-putting? I'll tell you one good thing. Many seats on this 737 were available to select for no extra charge, including up here in my favorite area in front of the wing. That's more than I can say for SAS, which will often release just a handful of free seats in advance at the very back of the plane, or none at all. They charge for the rest right up until online check-in. This plane had the nice Boeing Sky interior with mood lighting. No complaints there. Legroom was quite alright too. This is a very dignified, low-cost experience, which I've always found to be the case with Norwegian. In the past, all Wi-Fi was free on Norwegian, and now they offer a basic plan for free, plus a couple of faster options for a charge. I reckon that's actually a good thing, because in the past the internet was often so slow it was unusable. At least now you can pay if you really need a faster connection. Similar to many airlines, they have a selection of food and drinks available for purchase on these flights. That's totally unnecessary on a quick hour-long flight, but I ordered the Carlsberg IPA just to see what it was like. The answer is, not that good, partly because it was not very cold. Then there's these new tiny sinks in the bathrooms. The space savings do not seem worth the spillage, and yet the airlines seem perfectly happy to keep installing them. The 737-800 is definitely a little loud though, especially when you're used to the newer A320neos. Maybe not a fair comparison, but still, that's mostly what SAS flies on this route, so it's relevant. I keep lucking out with great views of central Stockholm on approach lately. Anyone spot the landmarks? So we're back in Stockholm, and the end result, Norwegian is just fine. They're exactly like I remember them. They're not offering anything particularly spectacular or memorable, but they're not doing a terrible job either. They got here almost on time, safely. The plane was reasonably nice, comfortable, legroom is fine. It's a dignified low-cost carrier for sure. What's the main reason to fly Norwegian on a route like Copenhagen-Stockholm? It's only price. They have less frequencies. The SAS service is arguably better, a little bit more varied, but SAS still seems to be able to command really high fares, especially on routes like Copenhagen-Stockholm, and I saw Norwegian selling tickets close to departure for a quarter or 1/5 of what SAS was selling them for. So if price is a factor, it's definitely not a bad bet to go with Norwegian. I wish them all the success in the world, because if anything, having more options and having lower fares can never be anything but a good thing. Thanks for coming along on this one, and we'll catch you again soon. In Stockholm for Flight Radar 24, I'm Gabriel Lee.